Okay, you guys, so welcome to weeks 11 and 12. We have seriously 10 weeks that you guys just got through. And I know that wasn't probably the most easiest 10 weeks of your life, but believe me, for those of you who stuck with it, who did the work, you are a much better person because of it. I promise you guys. So more than anything, we just really want to recap on this and then kind of send you off with some very encouraging, like words of encouragement. Of course, maybe a few little more tips and lessons here or there, but of course, you guys, just to recap, the very first thing that we learned was the hand portions, okay? And how to really section out your meals, divide them up a little bit, and then make it work for your health, right? And then, of course, the next thing that we really did was we learned how to build healthy breakfasts and lunches as well. And with that, we also kind of learned how to do time management, things like that, really being intentional, and then making sure as well that you have alignment with your goals. So everything that you're doing, the foods that you selected, the foods that you're eating is in alignment with the goals that you set for yourself, right?
Can I plan on that a little bit?
Let's do it.
So I found myself when I was eating out, looking at my hands and being mindful of the portions and really looking at, not that I ordered the best things I could have ordered, but looking at what I did order and fitting it more into my hand than I did in the past. And being intentional, I of course started out with, oh, I have no time, I'm so busy and everything. Yeah. But you know what I finally stopped to realize is we have time for anything we want to have time for. We will make time to sit in front of the TV. We will make time to meet up with friends. We will make time for the things that we are making a priority. So once I realized that, I had to really sit and make myself a priority and take the time to make my food and to just be present and know I was on the right step, even though sometimes it was hard. But because I had a hard time in the beginning of putting myself as a priority, because that is absolutely new for me because I was a stay-at-home mom. I own a business. I'm recently divorced. So my entire life has been about everybody else. So really just learning how to make me a priority was actually a big step for me in this whole process that I learned in the first couple weeks.
Yeah, and definitely you guys, I mean, Audrey is a huge example of like starting to have a really good, healthy view of herself and herself in relation to everyone else, you know? I mean, how often, I mean, I do that myself as a coach. I put myself last a lot of times, you guys, and it's not always the healthiest thing that you can do for yourself. And of course, there's always that perception of, well, I'm being very selfish for myself, right? But guys, if you don't take care of yourself, if you're not at least some priority in some way, shape, or form, things usually suffer, and usually that ends up being you. You know, while everyone else is thriving, you're suffering, and that's not how it's supposed to be, and I'm sure that's not what everyone else wants for you either, you know?
Yeah.
So being very intentional and just prioritizing yourself was a huge breakthrough.
Absolutely.
And I hope for those of you who made that breakthrough as well, like you're starting to see just how wonderful it is to really just be like, no, I'm going to care about myself today. Not put myself at the very bottom level and then everyone else is on top, right? And it helps out so much too for mentally. Like you just feel better as a person.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, definitely. Because I have noticed my whole attitude and demeanor has changed once I started thinking about myself and once I started making the choices that I've wanted to make for a really long time, but just kept pushing down and pushing down. And now just to finally be like, nope, I will get to that after I do this. Nope, I will do this. I've noticed that I am, like you said, I'm completely different in how I present myself, how I hold myself in higher regard now than I ever did before.
I love that. Seriously. This is what it's all about, you guys. Of course, so the next thing that we also did was we learned how to build healthy snacks as well. And Audrey showed you guys how to do that. Really delicious recipes right there. And then you guys started beginning to journal your food. Nothing crazy at all, of course. You just wrote down what you were eating, all that kind of stuff. And then the next thing that we really segmented into was building healthy dinners. We kind of left that towards the end, you guys, because we know dinners can be the most difficult one. You're ending your day and it might have been really stressful, all the kids and maybe you have a husband or you know, all the kids want something different to eat, all that kind of stuff. And the dinners are really the most difficult for anyone to juggle. So that's kind of why we let you guys build your breakfast, then your lunches, then the snacks, then really build up to dinners as well.
And I liked with the dinners to know that if I didn't want to cook it ahead of time, I could prep it ahead of time.
Yeah.
I could have it in the fridge ready to go. I could, you know, make it fit with my day, make it fit with my week. And even if we did end up eating out, how I could take those leftovers and make it into a healthy dinner for everybody and repurpose the food that we already had. So yeah, I just loved that, especially with the busiest meal, the biggest meal, the one that's, I feel, most demanding on everybody.
Yeah, 100%. And then of course, also you guys, when you learned how to make those dinners, you were also journaling why you were eating. So hopefully you guys got some major like aha moments there where it's like, okay, why am I eating? And the crazy thing is even for me, even for anyone, like any common ordinary person, everyday person, like we eat not just for hunger, we eat because we're bored, we're stressed, we are having fun, and we want to have even more fun, right? Like it's just name any reason, right? And you guys, at the end of the day, it's great that you uncover that. It's great that you learn that. It's great that you're more mindful of that now, because now you can understand like why you're doing what you're doing.
And I've even noticed that too when I stop to think, why am I eating? Like a lot of the times I ended up not even eating because it was like, I'm tired. And I figured out with all my journaling and writing down everything that when I am extremely tired, I eat extremely.
So of course, you guys, on those last couple weeks, what we did is also learn how to make food or meals from leftovers, which were really amazing. Audrey, nice work on that one. And then we started journaling as to how food makes you feel. That was like the next level that we really wanted you guys to go for, is just getting in touch with the internal cues and like, does this food make me feel better? Does this food make me feel hungrier? Like, do I feel full when I eat more of this and less of that? All those kinds of things. So it really worked well on that one.
And what I found when I did that too was not only stopping to find out why I'm eating, and sometimes I just needed water, or sometimes I just needed to breathe deep, or you know, figure out I was emotional or extremely tired. But then to find out the what am I eating and how is it making me feel was really crazy, because I'm a lifelong dieter. Hello, my name is Audrey.
Confessions of a lifelong dieter.
I know, right? You know, so protein shakes and all of that. So I'm not gonna lie, a couple times I just went for a protein shake because I ran out of time and I was trying to do really well about eating my breakfast. And I found that that was a huge thing for me. Like, just took me back to all those feelings of restriction and limitations and almost like a shame feeling where oh, I'm dieting again. And so I figured out, you know what, I'm not going to drink a protein shake anymore. I'm just not going to do it. And it's been freeing to understand different foods and their relationship with me, and how I would look at them and how I would feel either before or after. And so it's been great to figure that out.
It's another aha moment. That
totally.
Like a huge aha moment. Yes. That's more than anything what we want to do is create those aha moments for you guys, because it's not about cut and dry, diet this, diet that, don't eat this, don't eat that. It's ridiculous. And I'm sure for most of you who have gone through at least even just one or two, you're like, this is just nerve-wracking. This isn't sustainable. This isn't for my life, you know? Which kind of leads me into, you know, more of the encouragement that I want to give you guys is now, I know this may sound a little bit cliche, but this is meant to start becoming a part of your lifestyle. You know, it's not a list of rules and do's and don'ts. It's not about beating your body up in the gym because you ate something that you shouldn't have eaten. It's not about feeling bad because you ate something that wasn't on a plan or whatever it is. It's about celebrating the wonderful foods that we have available to us to cook and eat and prepare and all those kinds of things. It's about just creating a life and going in that direction. You know, like when you do work, when you decide one day who you want to be and what it is that you want to do, you kind of start going in that direction, right? If I want to be a teacher, then I need to start taking classes to learn how to teach people, and then learn the material that I need to learn to teach them properly and correctly. Well, here's what you have to do every day to just make sure that you are the best, healthiest version of yourself, right?
And you guys don't get discouraged, because for me, okay, I'm 51 years old. I'm taking 51 years or so of habits that I've ingrained in my brain. And, you know, before I always expected everything to change instantaneously. Well, it's like, all right, I signed up for this, or I'm doing this, or I'm doing this program, or I'm eating this meal plan. And if it didn't work instantly and I didn't change instantly, I just gave up, you know. And what I've learned in these last 12 weeks is that it's a process, and it's a struggle, and it's really hard sometimes. And it's like, I don't want to do it. And I haven't done it every day, and I haven't been successful every day. But then I know, okay, so I messed up and I ate or drank or did this. So now I'm moving forward now, and I'm not going to do that again today. I'm not to say that I didn't do it the next day, but it's been a massive brain struggle, like to overcome all those old habits that have been ingrained in me for so long that, so it's a whole new way of thinking. And when you're entering into a whole new way of thinking, it's going to take a little bit, and it's going to take changing those patterns and keep referring back to all the things that you've learned and all the things that you've taught us and all the things that you say to just get all those new thought processes and all those new thoughts that we can tell ourselves now and keep us on the right track.
Exactly. I mean, I always try to compare it when I talk to Audrey about climbing up a mountain, you know? Guys, climbing up a mountain, like, I mean, of course we use Everest as like the... God, you climb up Everest.
I'm so doing that.
How? Like one step at a time, right?
Right.
And there are times when, as you know, as a coach, this is why I'm here, because there are multiple times along that journey you're going to want to stop in your tracks, and you're going to look down that mountain and say, I'd rather go back down than I want to go back up. Right? There's going to be times when you're going to stumble, you're going to fall. There's going to be times when you approach something that looks incredibly scary, and all you want to do is say, why am I doing this? What am I here for? And that's all part of the journey, you guys. This is how it is when it comes to transformation. Sometimes it does get hard. Sometimes it gets scary, but don't give in to feelings like that. You know, this is your new life. This is the way that you're going. Sometimes it can be weird. Sometimes it can be like, what in the world are we doing, right?
Exactly.
But when you get to the top of that mountain, when you get to that point where it's like, oh my gosh, I have the view of the world from Everest, right? And then you conquer that. It's like, what can I do at this point, right? And so that's what I'm trying to do, is help everyone realize that this is a lifestyle, and this lifestyle brings you to a point where you have more confidence in yourself. You have a little bit more, you cultivate self-esteem, you know?
And I tell you, I have like had that vision of him on the mountain in my brain for so long, because he's always told me, I'm climbing this mountain with you, and when you stop, I'm not going to let you go further down. And that pops in my brain all the time, because I know even if I fall, if I make bad choices, or if I flat out just don't want to do it and I'm just being rebellious, and I picture Adam just standing there, just waiting with his arms crossed, going, all right, are you done? Okay, you're not going past me, so you need to get over this and keep moving forward. And that has been the biggest thing for me, where, you know, I really realized what a fantastic coach you are, to
Thank you.
have the courage to stand there when I'm coming at him with attitude, and I'm coming at him with, I don't want to lose, and
Nothing new.
but to stand there and to keep saying, I'm not going to let you go back down. I'm not going to let you go back down. You know, and that was the only way that he just kept pushing me forward to have my aha moments and to have my breakthroughs and to literally change my thought process. And you're never too old. There's nothing that you've been through and nothing that you think is holding you back, because I am here to say that you can absolutely do it, and you can absolutely stick with it. It's a massive process for me. I'm so not there at all, but you're never too old to do something new and to change those patterns. And, you know, Adam has such a fantastic view of everything that is so different than anything I've experienced, and going through this program has been different than anything I've ever done. And I've had realizations that I never thought I even knew I could have. And so I encourage you just to really keep reaching out to him and to look back at these last 12 weeks and everything that you've learned and everything that you've written down and everything that you've picked up on and things that have stuck with you. And Adam's always telling you, sticky notes, put them everywhere. So things that yourself. Really jumped out at you, stick them everywhere and keep those reminders front and center. And you're going to succeed because he's standing there on the mountain with you and he's not going to let you go back down.
In my mind, I'm like, well, you can't go back down. So your choice is either sit there for as long as you want, and I'm sure you're probably not going to want to sit there forever.
It's been a long time for me sometimes.
Or you go back up. But eventually you're like, okay, might as well just get up because I can't go down. And, that leads me into my next point, Audrey, is that everything that we're doing, this isn't about weight loss, you guys. This isn't about turning numbers on a scale. This is about you becoming the next evolution of yourself, right? It's about coming out of unhealthy mindsets, whether it is with food, if it's with exercise, if it's with how things are supposed to be because society says so. It's not about that. It's not about eating food because you want to feel skinny. It's about eating food so you can feel healthy, so you can have energy throughout the day, so you don't get those insulin spikes and highs and lows and you're like halfway dead halfway through your day. It's not about weight loss. It's about doing the things that help you be healthy, and then a lot of times weight loss is just the byproduct of it.
And even that is changing your thought process with society, even because when I first met with Adam, I was super skeptical. I mean, like, all right, what do you got? What do you, because I'm a lifelong dieter. I'm a lifelong gym rat, even though it doesn't look like it. But, he's like, what is your goal? And my goal, I had finally gotten to the point is I don't care what I weigh. I'm a power lifter. I wanted to deadlift 400 pounds. He didn't talk me out of that goal. He didn't sway me into, okay, well, let's lose this much weight. Because for me, I found out that was a big issue for me. People telling me constantly my whole life, you need to lose this, you need to be at this weight, you need to lose and look a certain way. And I finally just had enough to where I just shut down and quit doing it all. So I'm still a very large girl, but I'm very healthy. And I'm powerlifting, and he's got me into different powerlifting areas, and I'm loving it. The bench press and what's that new one you got me doing? The clean and press.
Clean and press. Yeah.
So it's amazing things. But and coming through his program and then working with him one-on-one, we are just now talking about weight loss, and I have finally gotten to the mindset of okay. Yeah, I do need to drop some weight because my stomach's in the way of my deadlifting. So I'm at a healthy point now to say, you know what, okay, I'm ready and I'm going to do it. And I'm not looking at it as almost in defiance of, fine, you're going to tell me I'm fat again, whatever, I'll just drop the weight really fast because I am capable of doing that. But then I'm going to put it right back on again. So I feel now that I'm losing weight, I'm losing it slowly and it's sticking, finally. Thanks to Adam.
There we go. Which you guys right there, like I want to say something that Audrey, like kind of segment on that is that anyone can drop weight fast, right? That's called weight loss right there. But not many people know how to transform, change this, change your eating habits, relationship with your food, all those kinds of things. Which leads me into my next point, you guys, is during this process, it is hard at times. It does, let's just say it sucks sometimes. It does. When you want to change, your mind likes to fight you, right?
Yes.
But here's where I want you guys to really remember, patience and not perfection, right? Have patience with yourself. I always say, give yourself the gift of patience because patience is the key to this. It's not, I know in our society we're taught to like everything needs to be now, right? If our phone has to, load a web page a little bit quicker than usual, we're like, oh, stupid Wi-Fi, like why isn't it working? Just be patient, you guys. Patience is kind of like a muscle.
And patience, along with what he would always tell me is, it's not because I'm very perfectionist. Like if I can't do it right, I'm not going to do it. Never mind, screw it. And he would constantly keep telling me, it's not an all or nothing.
Yes.
It is always something.
Yep.
Which really helped me as well, because even on the days that I didn't want to get out there and work out, and I didn't want to lift, and I didn't want to do things, and I didn't want to eat the way I needed to eat, even if on those days I did one thing, Adam was in my mind going, see, it's something.
Still did something.
So, that, with the patience and the getting the perfection out of your head, like you said, and just keep going and striving and doing, and because you're never going to be perfect, you're never going to have it all down, ever, and even if you reach perfection in your head that you think you have, and that you feel like you hit your goals in every area, it's still, there's always going to be something, and there's always something you can learn and keep moving forward and striving to be better at.
Exactly. And I mean, more than anything right there, it's just, that's what this is all about. It's about self-exploration. It's about enjoying the process. It really is.
Even though sometimes the process sucks.
Oh yeah. I mean, anytime there's growth required, it sucks sometimes. I mean, guys, even right now, I'm talking with someone who's a psychologist to help me through my own things. Like I have immense amount of anxiety talking in front of people, to the point where I can't even do it. Like I want to run out of the room, but I'm a coach and I need a coach. I mean, this is just how you get better. And I can't even begin to tell you, hopefully you all have gained a taste of this throughout these, weeks, is that it's beautiful living life like this. It's beautiful when you have goals to strive for and you see yourself becoming this whole wonderful version that you may not even have thought was possible, and like I said, you guys, like, just remember, this process is about enjoying it, as much as sometimes it can feel like a white knuckle ride. Change inevitably is a little bit difficult. Of course, think about the butterfly, you guys. I mean, the amount of work that goes through being in that cocoon, and then busting yourself out of that. And isn't a butterfly almost like liquid at some point in that cocoon? And then they like morph and all this kind of stuff. I mean, guys, the process of life is not always easy. But with all that said, just to wrap up, what we're looking for these 2 weeks is remember the goals and the actions that you've done and keep doing them. Now it's just simply rinse and repeat, right?
And reach
Nothing
out
crazy.
To the community that we've built,
Reach out.
and you've joined and you've gotten to know, and we're all doing it. We're all going through everything, and it's so encouraging to hear what other people had to say and how other people, thought of something different to change your thought process or to get you through a hard time. So don't forget about that and keep utilizing that, and reach out in those hard times. And if you think that you're falling back and you're forgetting to do everything, reach out and be like, hey, I'm forgetting, or hey, give me some encouragement, because that's what you need. That's what I found. It's hard for me to reach out for help, and it's hard for me to reach out to people because I'm more of an encourager and cheering people on. So for me to reach out and have people cheer me on, and for me to be like, hey, I really need this from people. Yeah. It's so encouraging. And that's what this program brings. It's that community. It's that you've got this no matter what, and you can be successful no matter what success looks like for you. Exactly. Because everyone has a different version of success for them. And it's not so cut and dry, but for each one of you, hopefully throughout this process, you're starting to see what success looks like for you and what fits into your lifestyle and the circumstances that you find yourself in. We're not in easy times right now, of course, but we're all trying to do the best that we can to get through it. So I want to recap, you guys. Don't stop with the perseverance, okay? Keep pushing through. Keep persevering. There's going to be days along this journey when it's like, holy crap, what more can happen today, right? I mean, it feels like the sky is falling. That is life, okay? Even if you weren't doing this process right now, you'd still be going through hardships. But this is the thing, reframe that a little bit differently. Hardships sometimes come to test you a little bit. Sometimes they come along to say, okay, your armor's a little bit weak right here, so let's make it a little bit stronger. And then next time you can do better. You can fall down without failing, So keep on journaling, you guys. Keep on doing your hand portions. Keep on making the meals, the breakfast, the lunch, the dinners, and enjoy and watch as your life changes and transforms.